Hey guys, this is Rick, and welcome to How Not to Get Lost in Caves. I'm the type of person that has virtually no sense of direction. If I go in the bathroom and close the door, I get lost. So I needed a technique for when I was caving and exploring mine shafts like this. I needed a technique that would get me in and get me out in a way that I could follow. I tried the torches on the right and the left-hand side of the wall, both of them. That didn't really work very well, especially in caves that have a lot of switchbacks, a lot of turns that follow back on itself. The torches become confused and you lose a sense of direction. For a while I was using two torches to point towards, two torches that would point towards the way I go. That gives a sense of direction, except for the fact, like in mine shafts like this, you end up with too many torches, and then you don't know which way you're supposed to go. So what I did is I came up with a little technique, very, very simple technique, and one that's appropriate for caving because you end up with a lot of cobblestone, and that is basically to use a piece of cobblestone at an intersection with a torch pointing in the way you're supposed to go. And I have found that since I've switched over to using this technique, I never get lost anymore. And even if the cave is extremely complicated, you don't ever lose that sense of direction because you don't have a multiplicity of torches all over the place. You have a single piece of cobblestone and you have a single piece of torch, and you put the torch facing in the direction that you need to go. So, for example, we'll just do a couple here. Whenever you come, I only place them when I come to an intersection. So like we have an intersection here. So I would place the cobblestone and the torch is pointing back towards the way I need to go. And for non-intersection areas, I basically just use a single torch. That way I know, because you don't need to, if you're inside of a straight section of cave, all you need to do is just illuminate the cave. You don't have any other ways to go except just to follow the cave, obviously. So here we come to an intersection. We put the torch facing in that direction. Here I just put a single torch. Now in these situations right here, now this is where it gets really complicated and convoluted if you're trying to I'm in creative mode here, just so I don't have to mess with monsters and all that other good stuff. So in this situation, I like to kind of double up. I mean, it's cheap. We're talking about stuff here that costs virtually nothing. You're going to get tons of wool, tons of coal, and cobblestone is, you're going to get tons of that while you're caving as well. So whenever I reach this sort of a situation, and you get that a lot in caverns as well, I like to double up just so I know that I'm going from this point to that point rather than from this point, say, down to that point down there. So I know that this is the direction that I came from and this is the direction I want to go back. Now you can always just go through here and do whatever, do your mining and stuff, and then just dig straight up and come to the surface and you're done. But what happens if you want to come back down here and explore the cave some more? Maybe you can't explore this cave all the way, so you want to come back down here. Well, sometimes doing the tunneling up to the top and going back home without any sort of markers here, you don't know really what you've explored and what you haven't explored if you want to come back down here and explore it. So this gives you a way of not only finding your way back here, because you just basically trace back, you just follow the torch trail, and obviously we're not very deep into it, so it's pretty simplistic at this point, but here we know that. Let me do this just so we know that. So if I was to come back down here, I came in from up there, so if I was to come back down here and re-explore it, Well, where did I leave off? Okay, well, I can just follow my see, I haven't been over there, I know that. Just follow my torch trail that I've left, and I can get right back to where I left off before. It may seem like a lot of work, and you know, some people don't need this. Some people don't really have a problem with figuring out where they're going. They just have a good sense of direction. I don't. Unfortunately, I really don't. And this has kind of helped me in a lot of ways to improve upon that, my sense of direction. But it's so easy to do, and it's so cheap that I've just found it to be extremely helpful on navigating these complicated structures. So I don't know, you know, it's real simple technique. It's probably not for everybody, but I found it to be quite useful for myself, and so I've been using it. And like I said, it's real cheap. It doesn't really cost anything at all as far as resources are concerned, and it's unambiguous. And now, so here you don't need any direction because this is really only one way to go. This, on the other end, I always, when I get to these pillars here, I use that basically to go, unless I'm going to cut these down for the wood, which a lot of people do, because you can have stuff hiding up around here, and if you cut them down, it kind of opens up the area a little bit. So like here in this case, see how complicated this little structure is here. So how did I come back this way? Okay, well, I've got this here, so let's do it this way. Okay, so I'm going in this direction. I'm going in this direction. See, come back through here, there, and here I go. So again, it's a little more work than just spamming torches everywhere, but once you get it set up and once you get working it, I mean, it's second nature to me now, and I can just find my way around all over the place. So anyway, just a little tip for you. Hope you found it useful. I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you again next time. Goodbye.